The clock is ticking towards midnight. In just hours, the federal government could grind to a halt, not because of budget disputes or military funding, not over infrastructure or education. No, Democrats are ready to turn off the lights in Washington for one insane reason. They demand your tax dollars pay for health care for people who broke our laws to get here. While American families struggle with medical bills, while rural hospitals face closure, Chuck Schumer draws his line in the sand. The demands they're making will absolutely shock you. The billions they want to steal from real Americans will enrage you. This is economic treason, so don't look away, because while Democrats fight to give illegals free health care, hardworking Americans deserve real health breakthroughs. That's why I use C60 Evo. The Nobel Prize-winning molecule isn't about handouts. It's about taking control of your health. Lab studies showed 90% life extension. My own results, brain fog gone, joint pain eliminated, energy through the roof. My wife looks and feels years younger. This is cellular level transformation, not government dependency. C60 Evo is 172 times stronger than vitamin C. So while Schumer wants your tax dollars for illegal aliens, invest in your own health. Visit c60evo.com/NNN and use that code NNN for the deep discounts, because real Americans solve their own problems. You'll find it linked down below. Now, in the Oval Office today, President Trump was asked a question about the shutdowns. When you shut it down, we'll be laying off a lot of people, and they're going to be Democrats. Oh, wow.
Very much, Linda. What you're doing. Thank you very much, Linda. Okay, any questions, please?
Mr. President, as we inch closer to a government shutdown this morning, you said you might do a lot of layoffs. If DOGE is already reducing the federal workforce, why is it necessary to link more federal jobs cut to a shutdown?
Well, the Democrats want to shut it down, so when you shut it down, you have to do layoffs. So we'd be laying off a lot of people that are going to be very affected, and the Democrats, they're going to be Democrats. As you know, this country, no country can afford to pay for illegal immigration, health care for everybody that comes into the country, and that's what they're insisting. And obviously, I have an obligation to not accept that. That would affect everybody. You know, when I see what we're doing with AI and all the plants that are opening up in the country, $17 trillion is coming. And if you compare that to Biden had, in 4 years, less than $1 trillion. We have $17 trillion, more than that. I think it's going to be much more than that, David, by the end of this year. I think it's going to be far over that. It's a record. It's already a record in 8 months. It's a record by a lot. And so we're doing well as a country, so the last thing we want to do is shut it down. But a lot of good can come down from shutdowns. We can get rid of a lot of things that we didn't want, and they'd be Democrat things, but they want open borders. They want men playing in women's sports. They want transgender for everybody. They never stop. They don't learn. We won an election in a landslide. They just don't learn. So we have no choice. I have to do that for the country. Yes.
You mentioned.
What you're doing.
You know,
thank you very much.
As I'm watching this clip, and I'm thinking about $17 trillion. He did the comparison, $17 trillion to Biden's one. And I'm like, man, this is the guy's last term in office. And I mean, I would love to see a third term. I mean, there's never going to be another president like this, ever, who can throw down his leverage in deals ever again. And it kind of makes me sad because, you know, we're not even a year into this administration. I can't even imagine where we're going to be at the end of it. But this is only the beginning, and it's just so beautiful to witness and to be here. I mean, whoever remember when Hillary said this?
Those who are undocumented. As to illegal aliens, we agree with you that we do not think the comprehensive health care benefits should be extended to those who are undocumented workers and illegal aliens. We do not want to do anything to encourage more illegal immigration into this country. We know now that too many people come in for medical care as it is. We certainly don't want them having the same benefits that American citizens are entitled to have. As to illegal aliens...
Yeah. I mean, that's Hillary Clinton years ago when she actually had policies that made sense. And now Democrats are begging to give illegals health care. And right now, in the White House briefing room, they are streaming a montage of Democrats previously opposing a shutdown. Now, we actually played some of these clips for you yesterday. And the reason they do this is because despite the fact that there's no press briefings going on, there's always activity in that briefing room. Now, right in front of that podium, all those seats, there's reporters sitting in those seats doing work. In the back, in the cubbies, there's reporters doing work. So they're basically just like hammering the point home to the media without ever having to say anything. I mean, you got Elizabeth Warren, you got Chuck Schumer. Like, they're just playing a loop. They're playing a loop of the hypocrisy. And Tim Burchett posting this, it really sums it up. Imagine celebrating the shutdown so you can give illegals health care while taking $50 billion from rural health care. And he was quote tweeting the Democrats doing a big selfie. House Democrats are in D.C. and ready to cancel the cuts, lower the costs, and save health care. Taking a selfie with all the Democrats. Listen, if they really want to, work, go work. Just go do your work. Like, if you guys are that dedicated, if the government gets shut down, show up to work anyway. But that's not going to happen. Maxine Waters triggered. Lindell TV was there to capture it outside the Capitol. And Allison was there. Maxine Waters snaps when asked about health care for illegal aliens.
Keep this government.
Do Democrats want to prioritize the health care of illegal aliens over a government shutdown? Because if the government does shut down, Americans
Excuse me, stop it right there. We're not prioritizing. What we're doing is saying simply we want to keep the government open and we want to work with the Republicans and have a bipartisan agreement to keep this government open, and health care is at the top of our agenda.
But aren't Democrats demanding health care for illegal aliens? That's right.
Democrats are demanding health care for everybody. We want to save lives. We want to make sure that health care is available to those who would die, but having the help of their government.
So you're good with the government shutdown, even if it means giving health care to people who aren't American citizens?
Well, that's what you're pushing on. What you're trying to do is you're standing here and you're trying to make me say that somehow we're going to put non-citizens over Americans. Quit it. Stop it. This is the kind of journalism we don't need.
No, I'm just
you're
asking
divisive.
questions.
No, you're not.
Yeah, no,
you're being divisive. No, please. You don't need to ask that question. You're just trying to get controversy here. You're not going to get it from me. We want to save health care for all people. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Appreciate it.
Allison Steinberg giving it to Maxine Waters. You gotta love that, man. If you want controversy, you're not going to get it from me. Actually, Maxine Waters is the queen of controversy, right? Here is the leader, John Thune. Democrats are going to have to do some splaining.
So it's a bill that's passed by the House, sitting here in the Senate, ready to be signed into law by the president. And no, it's up to the Senate Democrats. That's where we are. And if they decide to vote it down tonight, they're going to be the ones that have to explain at midnight tonight why the government is shut down. It's really pretty straightforward. And this is something, again, that's been routine around here for a long time until all of a sudden the far left, as Senator Barrasso pointed out, hijacked the Democrat leadership here in the Senate, and they've decided to hijack the American people and hold them hostage to try and get a laundry list, a wish list, a Christmas list of their left-wing priorities attached, in their case, to a 4-week continuing resolution. Ours is 7 weeks, but they'll have the same leverage 7 weeks from now that they have today. And as I've said before, we're happy to sit down with them and talk about the concerns they have, the issues they have with it's a
now,
bill.
This could all just be political theater. They could have that vote tonight. The government could just continue on. And they're just using these last few hours to grandstand. Let's go back to 1996. Chuck Schumer rails against illegals getting taxpayer-funded benefits because it incentivizes more illegal immigration. Chuck Schumer, 1996.
This is an anti-fraud amendment. Over where we go, people say, well, why can't you stop illegal immigrants or others from coming here? And the number one answer we give our constituents is when they come here, they can get jobs, get benefits against the law because of fraud. And here, the gentleman from Florida has put together the most effective anti-fraud measure we can find without it changing the actions of the government one bit. And we find all this opposition. Ladies and gentlemen of this chamber, what I worry about is that this bill, which started out with good intentions, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, is going to end up being the same kind of thing that the public gets angry with us on.
I mean, imagine if you had a time machine and you could bring Chuck Schumer, today's Chuck Schumer, to meet the 1996 Chuck Schumer and let them debate each other. That would be something else. Democrats have made it clear they're going to hold the line and shut the government down over their insane demand that we give free health care to illegal immigrants. Here's more.
Told us over and over again, we want you to fight for health care. That's what we're doing today. Democrats are going to hold the line. Thank you.
Yeah.
Told us.
Hold the line for illegals. Speaker Johnson, though, saying Democrats are demanding we restore taxpayer-funded benefits for illegal.
We filed a 24-page clean CR. They filed a dirty CR as a counterproposal, included in it, and they brought this up at the meeting yesterday. They want to restore taxpayer-funded benefits, American taxpayer-funded benefits to illegal aliens, okay? We're not doing that. We got rid of that in our One Big Beautiful Bill. We're not going back to that policy. This was a big issue in the election last fall. American taxpayers are not supposed to fund people who break the law coming into the country illegally. They're demanding that as a condition of their votes. They also want to gut the $50 billion that we included in our legislation, have already passed, signed into law, to protect rural hospitals. They want to claw that money back inexplicably. They want to give the Corporation for Public Broadcasting $500 million, $500 million, to prop up these left-leaning media organizations that we defunded. I don't think, and the American people don't think, that taxpayers should be funding that in the age of, ubiquitous media coverage and so many options. So all these things that they're trying to cram into a very simple, remember the terms of this, 7 weeks. We're only buying until November 21st, again, to allow the appropriations process to continue. And I think this is very important. We've talked about this on the program before. I've been trying very hard since I became Speaker 2 years ago to force the Congress back into the regular appropriations process. And why is that so important? Because that's how you act as a good steward of the precious resources of American taxpayers. We filed a
And who are not being good stewards. They're taking selfies. President Trump, if there's a shutdown, how many federal workers do you plan to lay off? President Trump having a gaggle outside the White House earlier today before going to Quantico. Here's his response.
If there is a shutdown, how many federal workers do you plan to lay off?
Well, we may do a lot, and that's only because of the Democrats. And as you know, they want to be able to take care of people that have come into our country illegally, and no system can handle that. And so we're totally opposed on that. But we can't take it. We just can't do it. I'd love to do everybody. I'd love to do the whole world. But our country can't handle people that come into our country illegally. And they want to give them full health care benefits. They want to open the wall again. Can you believe it? I can't even believe it. They want to open the wall. They haven't taken away boys playing in women's sports. They haven't done that. Men playing in women's sports. It's like they don't change. They lost an election in a landslide, and they don't change.
They only change for the worse, though. That's the truth. Here is more, politically speaking. Chuck Schumer needs a Schumer shutdown.
Careening. I'm going to tell you, just in the Senate at least, politically speaking, Chuck Schumer needs a Schumer shutdown. And I think that's what we're probably careening toward. But it's up to the Democrats. This bill, this 24 pages is sitting at the desk in the Senate right now. It could be picked up and passed. The government stays open, and we can complete our appropriations work. They have the same leverage on November the 21st that they have right now, and these premium tax credits don't expire till the end of the year. So this is a made-up problem by the Democrats who desperately need to satisfy a political base that is hostile to Donald Trump. That's what this is about.
Exactly what I said. It's all political theater. They're just playing to their base. Here's more. Speaker Mike Johnson just 12 hours ago.
He heard the credit President Trump showing real leadership. He's operating in good faith, and that was on display by bringing the leaders in. He heard the arguments and the debates. They're baseless. I mean, Chuck Schumer is now arguing exactly the opposite of what he has always said in his career. And why? You hit the nail right on the head, Sean. He's doing it out of political desperation. He is willing to force the government to shut down just to oppose President Trump for temporary political cover for himself, and he will abandon the American people just to do that. It's really something to watch. Credit President Trump.
Abandon the American people. I mean, that's pretty much par for the course from this party. The American people are the ones who are going to be hurt by the government. Republicans are united to keep the government open. All it takes is Senate Democrats agreeing to the clean, nonpartisan CR already sitting on the Senate desk. A clean CR. Senate Democrats posted this 20 hours ago. We're one day away from a government shutdown because Trump and Republicans would rather let health care premiums spike than work with Democrats. It's all BS. There's still time to extend the ACA tax credits to protect families from higher costs while keeping the government open. Senator Mark Kelly. Mark Warner. Why won't Republicans work with Democrats to protect American health care? Oh, he's got an answer, apparently.
This afternoon. Well, we're now 36 hours away from a potential government shutdown. The question is, with the meeting this afternoon, will Donald Trump actually put the healthcare needs of Americans first and not create this enormous cliff that'll happen at the end of the year without the extension of the Obamacare tax credits? Or will he play politics with literally the lives of hundreds of thousands of Virginian federal...
You said people gonna die?
Yeah, Jar Jar, that's what they're saying.
You said people gonna die?
I heard you the first time.
Workers and federal contractors. You know, there's a win-win here. Let's go ahead and fix the healthcare issue, keep the government open, and frankly, we could also work on fixing the problem that American farmers have as well. This is the time to see whether politics or leadership stands up and does the right thing.
And President Trump doing the right thing, especially if he's going to lay off a bunch of Democrats in the process. Oh, please, make it so. Yes, we're just a few hours away from that deadline. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So, this is the choice before us tonight. Democrats will shut down the government to secure health care for people who shouldn't even be here. They'll sacrifice $50 billion meant for rural American hospitals to fund benefits for border jumpers. Maxine Waters can't even defend it. Okay? She's literally screaming at reporters. Chuck Schumer himself warned in 1996 that giving benefits to illegals creates a magnet for more illegal immigration. Now he's become the magnet. You see, Trump offered a clean funding bill. Republicans united to keep government open. But Democrats need their radical base fed with that fake vegan meat. Even if it means federal workers don't get paid. Even if it means chaos. They love chaos, though. Mostly peaceful chaos. You see, they've chosen foreign nationals over American citizens. So here's my question. Should Republicans hold firm? Let Democrats own this shutdown? Drop a yes or a no? Let me know in the comments. And while Democrats betray America, show where you stand. Check out our patriotic merch shop. It's linked in the description below.